I really didn't fucking want to do this, but I guess we're gonna have to, and I'm sorry.
Darren Shania claims the GC2 cult as the official hate group by mandate of the Ministry of Human Rights. Do you dislike bullying?
Are you a grown man that acts like a whiny little pussy about everything? Do you cry about stupid fucking bullshit to the point that where you're ready to whine and gripe and piss and ree when people tell you to leave them alone? When people tell you just to leave them the fuck alone, you can't accept the terms of a cease and desist, so instead you make like 5 little butthurt podcasts about it?
How can we stop bullying?
By shutting the fuck up, not instigating with people, and maybe just trying to take some degree of accountability for the stupid shit you do with yourself. Maybe, just maybe, that would help you a little bit. This ought to be fun. Let's give ourselves some mental cancer.
Send in your comments and we'll read them.
Alright, here's a comment. Leave me alone. I've already told you to leave me alone, you fucking weirdo. If I need to file a cease and desist, I will do so if it means shutting you the fuck up and getting you to leave me out of the stupid shit you're doing. Leave me alone, you fucking psychopath.
In the spotlight. Today in the spotlight, I like
In the spotlight. Okay.
to discuss the Gage Kirby issue.
Will you go blow yourself, you fucking moron? Wait, you've been doing that this entire time. What am I saying?
It's an ongoing issue.
It's an ongoing issue because you keep bringing me the fuck up. I stopped talking about you publicly for a while because I really don't fucking want to be involved. Seriously, you do this kind of stupid bullshit to get my attention. Like, seriously. Gage continues to bully. Bullying and intimidation is a game, and Gage name is the game is Gage. Gage is a violent conservative. You're making 3 fucking uploads. 2 of them are nearly an hour long. Because I call you a moron on the internet and tell you to leave me the fuck alone. What, do you not understand the concept of shutting the fuck up and leaving somebody alone? I find it funny that you call someone else a fucking bully while you're the one trying to intimidate them by trying to leak their name because you believe you have some sort of authority. End yourself.
And it goes on and on and on and on and on.
Like your fucking forehead.
It's long, it's dreadful, it's quite ridiculous.
If it's ridiculous, then stop contributing to it, you sped. Have you ever thought that the only reason anyone says shit about you is because you go out of your way to needlessly harass them and bring them up in situations where they obviously have nothing fucking to do with it? If I want someone to leave me the fuck alone, I tell them to leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. You fucking narcissist. Seriously, leave me the fuck alone. I don't give a shit about what you have to say. Leave me the fuck alone. Stop bringing me up. I don't want to be involved in this stupid fucking horse shit involving you because I genuinely don't fucking care anymore. It's uninteresting to me. And you're still trying to bring me up because you have like this fucking hate boner for me where you have to follow me around and start some stupid bullshit. Leave me the fuck alone. You annoying little fucking pest.
But at the end of the day, it needs to be done to protect the individual.
If you're trying to protect the individual, then stop harassing someone who's probably gonna kick your fucking ass. Like, if you're the one starting shit with people, continuously trying to leak personal information to antagonize them, then you have no right to say you're trying to protect anyone. All you're trying to do is throw someone else under the fucking bus by lying about them in an attempt to cover your own stupid ass.
The lives of the individual is more important than my own.
Yes, because lying about someone and mentioning their name over and 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 over ad nauseum, it totally isn't a recipe for someone to kick your fucking ass because you're obviously trying to have people bother them. The only reason no one's gonna really say or do shit to me on your behest is because no one really takes you seriously as a person, because you're a moron. But it does annoy me, considering the fact that you're trying to have people harass myself and people that I care about in my life, because you're an idiot that doesn't know how to shut his fucking ass.
So here I am.
So here I am, telling me I'm doing the right thing, telling me I'm saving the day by needlessly harassing somebody, even after they tell me to leave them the fuck alone. Seriously, I need to reiterate, leave me the fuck alone. Go away. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care anymore. You're so fucking stupid. You're trying to drag me back into this shit. I don't care nearly as much as you want me to.
So, Gage Kirby
What are you?
about reparations.
Reparations. Oh, fuck you. This isn't slavery. You weren't held in a camp and tortured.
For black people regarding slavery.
No, I don't. I don't owe anyone reparations because I myself personally never contributed to slavery. I never contributed to slavery. I never contributed to the internment of Japanese Americans during World War II. I have contributed to none of those causes, ergo I do not owe anyone reparations. The only time I'd ever owe anyone any sort of reparations or any sort of, I guess you can say any sort of, what's the name, I forget what the name of that word is. Oh yeah, compensation. The only time I ever owe anyone any sort of compensation or any sort of, like, reparation is if I personally impacted someone else's life in a way that impacted them in such a way that they were unable to live as an even human being.
Like all conservatives, they think that it is wrong for people to find closure.
No, I think it's wrong to make a bunch of random fucking people pay for shit they've never fucking directly had a link to. That's like making a young Japanese baby pay for Pearl Harbor. There's no point because that person had nothing to do with it. You're essentially saying that because someone occupies a particular ethnicity that they're obligated to cover for the actions of other people, they don't fucking know. The sins of the father are not the sins of the son.
With the history of America.
Our country's had some really fucked up history, but I myself was never personally, I was never personally attached to slavery. I myself have never owned a slave or been a slave owner, and honestly, I'm actually descended from abolitionists and prohibitionists. I've been descended from people who've been on the relatively right side of history, for the most part. And by right, I mean correct, not fucking politically, because I know you're a moron and you'll find this.
And I believe that closure is a very important thing.
Which is why you continuously harass people to encourage them to build into more stupid bullshit because you're so desperate to sink someone you'll do anything for it.
It gives you a time to reflect.
No, closure is a time to recover. It's a time to heal from your wounds, emotionally or physically. When people seek closure, it's because they want to finally close the emotional and psychological wounds that have been caused to them by an event or by a person. That is not the same thing as saying, I want these people held accountable for shit they didn't fucking personally do. That's not closure. Begging someone for money who's never done anything like that is not closure. That's called being needy.
Gives you time to make peace with the situation, but
you're not going to make peace because you keep trying to antagonize people.
A lot of people haven't had the opportunity because the conservative right continues to ignore the existence of what has happened back in the day.
People acknowledge that it happened. It's just the fact is nobody feels personally responsible for something that they've never personally done. Like, I'm not obligated to pay for the actions of every single white person alive, just like how you're not obligated to pay for the actions of every single Indian or African American person alive. What happened to George Floyd was a fucking tragedy, and I'm willing to say that he did not deserve what those people did to him. And those officers that were there complicit should be charged equally as well for the murder of George Floyd. I am more than willing to condemn those people for their blatant abuse of power and murder of someone who, albeit not a model citizen, did not deserve to die like that.
What not? Gage Kirby believes, oh well, it's all over. Technically speaking, it's not over.
Okay, so you're saying that there are people that are black right now that are in plantations right now, working hours and hours a day for no pay, for shitty food, and really brutal treatment of their fucking supervisors? Okay, where? Cite where? I'm more than willing to listen if you got an actual example that's occurring within this fucking generation.
What's the word I want to use? The notion of the existence of slavery still haunts the minds and the hearts of the people even to this day.
So what you're saying is that because people are butthurt about history that they never personally experienced, it means everyone's just obligated to fork over their wallet. Here's the thing, I'm willing to say that slavery is a truly unforgivable and terrible fucking thing no one should ever be subjected to. But that does not mean the entire world at large is obligated to pay people for shit they've personally not done to them. The person accountable should be the one being accounted. The person that should be held accountable is the person who committed, not the generations afterwards who don't know who the fuck these people were. That's like saying, because these white people of antiquity did terrible shit hundreds of years ago, people that don't know about it, people that are not connected to it, they're potentially their descendants, who openly admonish and disavow such behavior, are now obligated to fork over their money and time and energy to efforts that are not going to benefit anyone else except a bunch of superficial fucking crybabies who act like everything that the world's ever done to them has never been like a result of their action, but has always been the world's fault. Fuck you, you're what's wrong with the world, because you keep trying to say everything is society's fault, and it's never an individual's accountability.
You know, that is the curse of doing evil against people. It lingers.
That is the curse of disagreeing with Ree.
The action may be done, but the emotional aspect of it lingers.
How the fuck can you feel emotions from people who are long since fucking dead, who you have never met? That's like saying, yeah, this dude died like 150 years ago during the slave trade, but I feel his pain. No, you fucking don't, you lying fucking retard. You have no idea what slavery is. Trying to pretend that you're some... Stop with the fucking virtue signaling. Quit the fucking virtue signaling. Just get to the fucking point.
Just like Gage Kirby, bullies and harass and lies about me.
It's not lying, it's not bullying, it's criticism and commentary, and if you don't like it, quit being a fucking asshole to everyone. Leave me alone.
And even 2 years later...
Dude, you're the one that kept instigating this shit. Stop acting like you don't know what you did. You know what you did.
It lingers. Because there's no
right.
There's no apologies.
I don't owe you a fucking thing, you lying little moron. Why? So you can antagonize more people? Fuck you.
No change. Engage.
I want you to change because I think I have the right to boss you around and run your life when I can't even drive a car. End yourself.
Part. All there is just excuses and denial.
It's not an excuse. Like, if you're doing something fucked up, I'm not obligated to change just so you can tell yourself you're doing the right thing if you're obviously not.
Denial, and excuses.
Which is why nothing you say has ever been proven by anyone, and when you keep saying you're right, it's only because you say so.
Because the reality of the matter is, Gage has a habit of twisting people's words around.
No, I don't. No, I don't. If you say something and then I break down what you said to mean exactly what it says to people that aren't retarded, then it's simply me showing people what you're really saying. Like when you say people need to be like locked up in camps and shit because they disagree with you, it sounds like you're calling for like a political orthodoxy or what you believe is a political orthodox-based Holocaust.
And changing the context of what they say to fit his conservative-based narrative.
You mean like how when I say pedophiles are bad and when then you change the word pedophiles with people so that you can pretend that I'm just some asshole? When I say that it's not okay for pedophiles to be around children, you change pedophile to drag queen, which kind of sounds trans-fucking-phobic of you because then you're calling all trans people pedophiles.
And that's what he does with me all the time. And he'll go off and he'll say, oh, well, by humanity, you mean you. No, by humanity.
By humanity, you mean everyone that's magically in your head that tells you you're a genius.
I mean humanity as...
Yeah, because, if I disagree with you as a person, if I disagree with one person such as yourself, and say that you're full of shit, you try to misconstrue that as me disliking everyone. No, I just don't like you because you're an asshole.
The human race. Like, why would you say something completely.
Because I refuse to be lied to. I refuse to be sold some sort of bullshit narrative that you think you're being a hero and saving the day, flying around and fixing the world's problems, when really all you're doing is contributing to one of the biggest problems on the planet simply by existing and being a mouthpiece for some of the most fucked up human beings alive.
The opposite of what I actually mean, which is the reason why a lot of people who actually listen to him, and believe him, are usually left in the dust.
Okay, so what you're saying is that if people listen to me and they take what I say within a grain of salt and they actually look at what I say compared to your actions and they see, yeah, this dude has a pattern of doing this. This person has a pattern of telling people they're a bunch of evil bigots and telling people they don't have the right to disagree with them and telling people that they're a bunch of homophobic racists because they tell him he's a moron for saying crazy things. You're essentially saying that someone's not allowed to disagree with you and they're not allowed to think for themselves or draw their own conclusions because their own conclusions would say that you're a moron.
Iniquity and stupidity. Because the reality of the matter is that what gays keep saying that I'm saying is not what I'm saying.
Yes, it is.
Because I say what I mean and mean what I say.
Okay, Horton.
So it's not going to be, I'm not going to say something and then it has an alternative motive.
Yes, you will.
A hidden agenda. It's going to be
everything you say has some sort of ulterior motive.
Gage Kirby is violating the human rights of humanity.
Where?
I mean that Gage Kirby is violating the human rights of humanity. And
by disagreeing with pedophiles. By disagreeing with pedophiles. Such as yourself. When I disagree with some screaming moron who continues to try to get my attention, for some reason I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to disagree with some fucking babbling retard who's decided to keep throwing himself at me when I tell him to leave me the fuck alone. And even after that, you still try to come running at me, screeching like an idiot, and then you wonder why the fuck it is I don't take you seriously. It's because you're trying too hard to be aggravating just so the purpose of being aggravating.
By humanity, I mean individual people, human beings. It can't get any easier than that. And clearly Gage needs education because I don't have to...
If you keep saying someone else needs an education, I'm going to take my steel-toe boot and educate your forehead with it.
I don't understand why I have to keep explaining myself.
Because nothing you say makes logical sense. You keep saying people need to be educated, but when they ask you what type of education and where they could attain it, you don't answer. Because you really don't fucking know. You essentially want people to, quote, free their minds by converting to your ideology. You want people to think and act the way you want them to think and act, and for some reason you don't think that's, like, weird and culty at all. Okay, Manson.
To Gage Kirby and a conservative, right? That they had
I'm not a conservative, you stupid retard.
Education and actually listened.
If you just listen to what I tell you and think that I'm right, you'd be the right too. If you do what I want you to do, you'll be right too. You kind of sound like Peter Popoff. Go fuck yourself.
Instead of blabbing on about speaking fake news and
it's fake news. You don't agree with me.
Speech and propaganda and all this.
Yeah, it's propaganda if someone simply has a stream where people hang out and talk.
Then it wouldn't be such a hard task to understand what other people are saying.
By us people, you mean you. No one else is saying this except you. I have yet to see another person anywhere, online or in person, signed with you on anything. Even Michael Mattis and Michael Helms say you're a fucking moron.
Gage does not understand that when I say something, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean.
Will you just stop repeating words from Horton Hears a Who?
Without any form of a hidden agenda.
Everything you say has some sort of hidden narrative, because essentially what you want to do is you want to make everyone think the way you think. You want to convert everyone you encounter into some hardcore leftist SJW nutfuck, and if they tell you that you're a fucking crazy person, you screech like an idiot.
Gage believes that everyone must talk and act the same, aka have the same mentality. And
when have I ever said that everyone is obligated to think or act the same way ever? I've openly said people do not have to necessarily agree with me on everything, or really anything. If people actually have a reason to think the way they think, and they can actually provide a good, like a sizable reason as to why it is their particular point of view is rational and understandable and actually makes sense, then yeah, I'm willing to listen to what they have to hear. But if it's someone like you that babbles out of their ass, tells themselves they're a genius, then no one's going to take you seriously because it more or less devolves into a series of pointless screeching.
And must also dumb down their statements so that he can understand.
So what you're saying is you can't be to the point. You can't be direct with your language. You have to continue to soften your language and sugarcoat what you say and tap dance around things that you don't like to say because if you did, it would probably fuck up your whole argument.
Shows how much IQ Gage Kirby actually has.
Coming from the same person who spent the entire day blowing himself.
Because at the end of the day, it seems like Gage never understands an intelligent statement.
You're not capable of making an intelligent statement. The way you write makes you look like some borderline illiterate. Seriously, when you write the garbage you write, it sounds like someone stole a lot of the text from other works of fiction and non-fiction and decided to just throw them in there because you're too lazy to try to format anything properly. This is coming from the same dumb motherfucker who printed red text on a white sheet of paper in a book, and for some reason he's wondering why people can't really read it very well because the colors are too bright with each other. Editing 101, moron.
Understand the intelligent conversation. Because the only conversation that Gage Kirby can have is usually written with hate speech, corruption and fake news.
So what you're saying is that if someone uses anything at all that you don't agree with or anything at all that you find to be a little bit mean or too direct about their language, then you say that that conversation is not intelligent. So what you're saying is you want a conversation where it's going to be like talking to a baby. You want a conversation where you're being talked to like you're in jumps like in Head Start or elementary school and kindergarten, where people are just going to mindlessly pander to you and take everything you say seriously, just on the basis that you say it alone. No one is obligated to inherently say that you're better or smart compared to anyone else. That's the problem you don't seem to understand. Is that you keep telling people that you're a genius and that you're this and that, but the reality is all you are is a delusional narcissist who's in denial that he's a delusional narcissist.
The side order of cursing and nonsense.
It's nonsense because you yourself can't figure it out. You claim to be a genius, but you can't actually debunk what I say.
He doesn't necessarily know how to have a civil conversation with people.
There are plenty of conversations that I have that are civil, but the fact is you're just not worth a civil conversation because people like you don't reason with anyone. You don't have the capacity to actually reason and form an intelligent argument. So people don't feel the need to try to give you an intelligent argument because all you're going to do is scream and cry like a moron and then say nothing of actual value.
People. He doesn't really know how to have a conversation at all. I mean, he's not necessarily...
I know how to have a conversation, it's just the fact that I really don't fucking like you. I really don't like you. I'm not obligated to be nice to people I don't fucking like. I'm an adult. This isn't fucking school where you're forced to deal with people that you might not like on a daily basis because you're in the same class. As an adult, you have the right to choose who you do and don't associate with. Just like you have a right to decide who you do and do not like.
The best people person. I mean, he makes these YouTube videos. He dresses terribly in these videos.
Yeah, you dress in a t-shirt and pants because you're just relaxing in a casual conversation. Because you don't want to spend $50 on clothes that you'll wear maybe for like 2 hours or just wear it for the day. Here's the thing. Unless it's a really fine occasion, I'm not going to dress up. And I'm not obligated to dress up. I'm not. I don't get why my threads are your business whatsoever.
He goes on for 2 hours dragging on and on and on about how much he hates people.
So I'm not allowed to make jokes and make hostile remarks. I'm not allowed to talk to the people that are in the chat talking. You realize that there are people actually engaging with me in the chat, right? There are people that are talking to me as well, that I'm having conversations with back and forth if I don't have guests on. And for whatever reason, you seem to think that those are hallucinations when you can see the chat in the fucking corner of the stream window.
One time you ever say anything positive about anything.
So what you're saying is, I am obligated just to suck something off. You just want me to start needlessly filleting things that I enjoy. Like, here's the thing, there were a couple statements that I did say that were actually really positive. For example, when I brought up my father and my family, I said that my father might not have always had money, I didn't see my father often, but I also said that a lot of the time I spent with my father was also a lot of the more memories that I do treasure, and a lot of the memories that I really do hold high, and I do value those memories because of the time that I spent with my father and my brother. I've said that before multiple times, and that actually is a positive thing. Just like when I've actually said that I thank members of my family for all the hard work they put into trying to raise me right. I thank them as well. That's a positive thing. But if I'm saying positive things and it's not about you, it's not positive.
And at the end of the day, it's like, he'll go and burp and pick his nose, and that's not professional at all. If you're going,
it's not professional. How dare you have a nostril that itches? How dare you belch? Yeah, how dare I have bodily functions? What do you want me to do? Like, stick balls of fucking cotton up my nose so my nose doesn't itch? Do you want me to just, like, pump my stomach preemptively so I don't belch at all? Have you ever considered the fact that I'm also drinking a lot of soda and fizzy drinks during the time, so a lot of that's gas specifically because of the sodas?
I'm gonna do a video. Be professional about it.
If you're gonna do a video, do it like a fucking robot. Well, let me guess. If I have to, there are times I have to get up and take a piss. Do you need me to bitch about that too? It's like, how dare you have to get rid of bodily waste?
This is why Desmond is amazing.
No one gives a fuck about Desmond. Desmond has nothing to do with this.
Millions of views.
And most of them are pedophiles like you, probably.
Anybody who he hates is automatically Gage Kirby's enemy.
No, I don't like people who make assholes of themselves and constantly try to scream at people over stupid crap, and then they wonder why the fuck it is everyone's annoyed with them. I don't like idiots who play provocateur and then cry when they're told to either shut up or leave someone alone.
That's how I came in. Because the only thing that I ever said was, why are you bullying people?
No, that's not all you ever said. You lying little fucking faggot. Only I called you a faggot again. Oh, I called you a faggot again. Faggot, 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 fucking faggot, faggot, cock swallowing dickhead, fucking faggot. And all my gay friends know it's not directed at them. Because I'm talking to fucking you. To you, specifically. You dumb motherfucker. Oh yeah, like harassing someone's sick mom. Telling someone's family member dying of cancer was perfectly fine because you're a bitch on the internet. Trying to leak someone's fucking name and failing miserably to potentially get people to harass them and track them down. Leaking someone's personal name 30 fucking times over and over again in an attempt to get someone to fucking harass them. You have no right to say that you're not doing shit to anyone, you lying little fuck. What the fuck is it with all the fucking lying with you? I really want to know, why the fuck can't you be honest with anyone you fucking talk about ever? When it comes to the situation that you helped orchestrate and engineer with your own fucking inept horse shit, it's like you don't seem to have the capacity to just shut the fuck up and take 5 seconds of accountability for anything that you've ever done that contributed to the stupid shitstorm.
You don't have to agree with anybody. Don't bully people. Go.
So what you're saying is that even though I'm allowed to disagree, I'm not allowed to scrutinize and criticize. No. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. If I want to call someone a moron for saying something insane and crazy and stupid, I have the right to do it. You're not going to be tone policing people or language policing people just because you're a pussy.
Go away and leave it alone.
Go away and leave it alone. You're not allowed to say you don't like it. Oh, fuck you, you crying bitch.
Extreme hollering is just causing a very hostile and awkward environment. And YouTube is no place for you to for all that drama and everything. Because people use YouTube in order to rewind and to relax, not to do.
You mean the drama that you knowingly fucking started? The drama that you knowingly fucking started. And the drama that you continue to try to perpetuate. Like, the only reason I'm saying this shit at all right now is because you've been going off about me for fucking weeks. For weeks. Fucking weeks. You've been saying stupid shit about me for weeks on this fucking horse shit, trying to get my fucking attention. And when I finally responded simply telling you to shut the fuck up and leave me alone, you make 3 more. Leave me the fuck alone.
There were all sorts of stress and drama, yet Gage Kirby continues to bring the stress and drama to YouTube. Why has it been shut down?
Why don't people get rid of him? I don't like him. Then don't watch. If you really don't like what I say, don't watch. You have the ability to just not... You have the ability to click off the video, dislike, and piss off.
I have no idea.
I have no idea why people are allowed to say things I don't agree with in a society that says it's okay to say things people might not agree with. It's a baffling thought.
I promote censorship? No, I do not. I know Gage is going to sit there and say, oh, well, you promote censorship. Well,
You do promote censorship because you file false DMCA claims in an attempt to take people's content down when they read something that you wrote because they refuse to have people shell out money for it.
guess what? Guess what? For information, FYI, I don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you fucking do. Yes, you do. Because you've gone out of your way to try to get people removed from the platform before by having DMCA campaigns.
I do not support is bullying. And if
You support bullying in the sense that you're the bully. Well, what the fuck do you call it, asshole, when you file false DMCA strikes to try to get someone taken down because they say things about you that you don't like? What do you call it when you take advantage of the hate speech bullshit on YouTube to have someone's channel taken down once? What do you call it when you start telling people that they loved and cared about dying or was funny or okay or karmic? That's bullying. And I find it funny that it's only bullying if it's someone else doing it to you, but not if you're doing it to somebody else. What the fuck is it with you? It's like the concept of accountability only works if it's the other person and not you.
you are a bully, you should be cut off from the system, in fact, immediately.
If I think you're a bully, you should be taken down. If I think you're a bully, you should be taken down. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. We all know that's the direction you're going. You want people to adhere to your narrative or suck it up if people say stupid shit. No one's allowed to disagree with anyone verbally. They're not allowed to voice their disagreements in a comedic or sarcastic way. Instead, you want them to just suck it up and ignore serious problems people could be contributing to. And if you call it bullying, you have them removed. Let's face it. If you were a president, you'd be a fucking Nazi. The only difference is instead of Aryan supremacy, you'd be going for an ideological supremacy.
It's not censorship. This is protecting.
It is censorship because you're saying that people's speech should be policed by you or some sort of arbitrary authority who someone else would be obligated to try to forge. The hate speech guidelines and bullying guidelines on YouTube are fucking retarded because really all they do is they get abused by idiots like you who freak out when someone calls them a name on the internet. Instead of simply saying, fuck you, that's not funny, you decide to file claims against people to have someone taken down. Like, the only reason that those guidelines exist is so that assholes like you can abuse them. That's one of the many reasons they should just fucking huck them out the window.
People's brains from turning to mush.
Your brain's already mush. That's why nothing you say makes logical sense when you think about real-world application.
Gage always makes up excuses for being wrong instead
If I'm wrong, then prove me wrong.
of owning up to his flaws
Oh, blow me.
and mistakes. So Gage never once ever
Gage never once told me I was a victim. Because you're not. You're an asshole.
said I was wrong.
Because I'm not gonna apologize to some stupid fucking fucking borderline Neanderthal narcissist.
And I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was wrong to think that you would ever learn from your mistakes and not be an asshole. I'm sorry that you're a sad genetic defect who's never gonna get laid and is probably gonna kill himself by jumping in front of a speeding cable car when he finally realizes he's done everything to destroy his life. On his own accord. By his own gross negligence.
I mean a legitimate sorry. I don't mean I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you're a jerk. I don't mean like that. I mean I got legitimate sorry.
I'm sorry you're a retard.
I never once came on you
Here's the thing. I apologize to people when I've actually done something wrong to them. If I yell at someone in an argument and I say something really fucking awful that really hurts them, I apologize because I know I crossed the line. If it's someone that I know in my personal life or someone that's a complete stranger who I've never had any negative interaction with. You, however, numbnuts, have caused nothing but social anguish for the people I've been involved with in my life in one aspect or another. My friends have most likely gotten tired of you as well. You're a moron. And you keep trying to tell people that you're the victim when you keep antagonizing.
And never said, I'm sorry.
I don't owe you an apology, fuck you.
Like a legitimate,
I don't owe you an apology for anything. No one owes you anything.
heartfelt apology.
I want you to apologize to me, cause if not I'm gonna slit my wrists.
Because Gage doesn't really necessarily have a heart. I mean, physically, yes, but
Here's the thing. I feel emotions like everyone else do, like everyone else does. But I'm not obligated to apologize to someone who makes a cunt of themselves at every chance they get. Like, I am not obligated to tell someone that they're the victim when they knowingly start a bunch of shit with people and then cry when people tell them to go the hell away.
I mean, he doesn't care about the people suffering. He doesn't
By the people, you mean yours, because you're an idiot and you're a crybaby and you think you represent everyone. Just because I don't like you doesn't mean I hate everyone. Shut the fuck up.
care about those who he hurt.
There's a difference between hurting people in my personal life and realizing that it was not okay to hurt those people, and then there's telling you to leave me alone and then you freak out about it because you can't accept the terms of a cease and desist. You went to the fucking internet to do this.
No one cares about hurting them. And he's so keen on spreading this stuff and getting views and subscribers and getting attention that
If people like what I say, they like what I say. I don't try to spread. If people that like what I say happen to share it around, it is not my prerogative to tell them not to. The end.
on very on a lot of occasions he will actually go off and accuse the wrong person of doing things.
Well, how about you actually fucking prove that it's the wrong person? Why don't you actually prove it instead of being one of these people that makes an accusation towards an accusation with no reason to do so?
That he does not do. Is that done on purpose? Yes. Is it a mistake? Yes. On the one hand,
Is he wrong because I say he is? Yeah. Can I prove it? Not really.
it's on purpose because he doesn't like me or being
I don't like you because you're an asshole.
liberal. On the other hand,
You can be liberal if you want. I really don't care about that. It's because you're a fucking asshole that went around harassing people.
it's a mistake because it backfired on him.
Yeah, it backfired on him. I got his name from a false DNCA counterclaim, and now I'm going to spread it around like AIDS because I think people really care about my side of the story so much they'll harass this person.
I am nothing that Gage Kirby says that I am.
Yes, you are. You're a sick fuck pedophile who's also a hardcore leftist SJW asshole who also suffers from narcissistic personality disorder. And because you suffer from NPD, you're not gonna ever say that you're accountable for anything that you've done. You're never gonna believe that you've done anything that you've ever done. You're not gonna believe that you're capable of doing anything that you've ever done because people like you never do. It's all a matter of downplaying or ignoring with you.
Because Gage Kirby never got a chance to actually know me for who I
I don't need to know you. You've acted like a shitty human being to everyone I know, including myself. Why the fuck would I want to be around someone who acts like that? Explain why.
am. Gage thinks that the entire world should change in his favor.
Aren't you the dumb motherfucker who thinks pedophiles should be legalized everywhere, thinks pedophiles should be let out of prison? Explain to me again who's trying to change the world.
He thinks that everybody who thinks differently than him is some sort of loser, some sort of little.
No, I say you're a wuss or a loser if you ignore the chance for harm that certain attitudes could cause, if you ignore the damage they could actually cause.
He has many names for many different type of people.
Yeah, an
He
asshole, a moron, a
actually
scumfuck, a retard, a mouth
recognizes
breather, an idiot.
difference and change. Because he's intolerant to he's intolerant to change, and he wants everyone to have a hive mind.
Coming from the person who essentially says that if you don't agree with me, you're a conservative, and if you're a conservative, you're a bad human being. Tell yourself that again and look in the mirror.
And he blames me for doing that, which is not true.
It is true, because you want to homogenize everyone and make everyone think like a hardcore leftist like you do. And if not, you say everyone's an evil fucking bigot who needs to be locked away in a camp and re-educated. Back when my first account was up, you straight up said that you wanted people that didn't agree with you to be locked in a camp or re-educated.
I do the complete opposite. I respect individuality. Gage Kirby does.
Which is why you attack people based upon their individuality. They dress the way they want to dress, and you attack them for that when you say that someone's a bigot for doing the same thing to you. Make up your mind. Is it okay if someone does it or if no one does it?
Respect individuality, because when I do me, and when I'm myself, he yells and screams and hollers.
Because you're a fucked up human being. Because you lie about people all the fucking time. Because you go out of your way to constantly pursue drama with people all the fucking time. You go out of your way to scream and bitch and malign when people tell you to leave them alone all the fucking time. When people want to be left alone, you keep saying shit about them to get their attention all the fucking time. It's like the concept of just letting the fuck go bothers you so much that you can't.
And curses and swears and threatens to go and kill me and say, why would you go and masturbate with a razor or something, which shows how intelligent Gage really is.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to be mean at all to some fucking psycho who goes out of his way to stalk and harass people's families over a stupid petty internet drama, and I'm the asshole, okay? You don't have to like me, but to be so stupid as to ignore what you've done really just demonstrates your own narcissism.
FYI, he's not. Gage believes that the whole world should follow the ways of Western society.
No, I believe that every world has its own way to operate, and I don't believe that anyone has the right to enforce laws in one country or another. But I also don't believe it's okay for people to, like, cut off their daughter's clit or make their daughter marry someone that's, like, 50 years older than her when she barely knows how to read.
And the corruption that exists within. So,
if you don't like Western society, then get the fuck out of it. If you can't stand being in the Western world, then go somewhere else. Just go. I will pay to have you shipped off to the middle of nowhere where you'll be surrounded by dangerous animals that will probably bite or sting you. Send them to Australia. You can fuck around with the 7 of the 10 most deadliest snakes on the planet. A bunch of venomous spiders, dingoes, crocodiles, and great whites, and box jellyfish.
What's interesting about Gage Kirby is the fact that he always promotes Western ideology.
So what you're saying is that because I don't needlessly blow Eastern shit, it means I don't like Eastern stuff? Here's the thing, I like a lot of culture and stories from certain places in the East. I like a lot of Japanese monster movies, I like a lot of animated series that come from Japan, I like a lot of I have a couple novels actually that were originally written in Japan and then translated to English. Guys, look. I hate the East so much that I actually have one of its best known film icons almost everywhere in my fucking house. I have almost half my room decorated in Godzilla shit, but remember, still hate the East. There's a difference between opposing a Middle Eastern religion for being a religion that practices barbarism and brutality on women and children and gay people and people in the LGBT. And then there's just simply saying, I hate the East! That's not the same. Those are two vastly different things. They're simply scrutinizing a religion for the harm it can do. And then there's simply saying, I personally enjoy the suffering of X people from X country in the East for bullshit reasons. You're so removed from reality.
Yeah, at the same time, when someone has a different ideology outside of his belief system, outside of his preferred ideology, it's almost as if he just can't comprehend it.
So what you're saying is I'm not allowed to scrutinize an opinion that sounds insane because it sounds insane.
Because reality matter is Western ideology is not perfect.
I never said that it was. I never once said that it was. I never once tried to imply that it was.
In fact, Western ideology failed a long time ago.
If it really failed a long time ago, then why is it still functioning? Like, how is Western ideology supposed to succeed now? What, do you want some sort of, like, leftist city-state where everyone just does what you want them to do? Because if you really wanted a country full of democracy, you would still be fine with a two-party program. At least to the point to where people are actually willing to listen to each other and actually try to contribute to the way to solve the country's problems instead of making them worse. But people like you don't do that because you're too busy calling Trump a racist.
And, most people, even in America, are actually living under a globalized ideology.
So what you're saying is that because people can adhere to a particular set of ethics and morals and beliefs, it's the same thing as everyone being brainwashed?
That the world does not just consist of America, and that's it.
It doesn't. No one ever said that it has. The reason that people are more concerned... Like, here's the thing. Have you ever thought about why people are more concerned with their immediate living situation? It's because people are instinctually programmed to worry about how they themselves and their family and their genetic line will propagate and survive. That's why people are more likely to be concerned about the well-being of their own country compared to the well-being of other countries. It's because it's an extension of being sure that your own children and your bloodline are going to be taken care of and secured a place in the gene pool. It's an instinctual thing that goes all the way back to our lizard brain. Like it goes down from our primate brain to our mammalian brain to our lizard brain that says eat, survive, reproduce. That's exactly what it is. It's instinctually ground into human beings as a species. Or really any species. But the fact is, it's not based upon bigotry or hatred. It's based upon the instinctual need to protect what you believe is yours to protect.
Our borders are sacrificial and superficial at best. And that,
No one gives a fuck what you say about borders. Because what you say about borders is pointless. You don't have a solution for the influx of illegal immigration in the country. You don't have a solution to anything. All you're trying to do is say, everyone else's problems that I've knowingly allowed to occur, that I knowingly support the acquisition of, should just be ignored because my fuddy-duddy bullshit worldview would be negatively affected if I took 5 seconds out of my day to look at the real side effects of this.
Borders are no excuse to go and make yourself look better or bigger than someone else.
Here's the thing. The reason that people establish borders is because they want to make sure that their country is protected from foreign or dangerous threats. You do realize that terrorists exist, right? And that terrorists infiltrate countries that don't have any way to vet who comes in and out of the country. And it's not just America. People like North Korea and South Korea are hard-edged against each other and they don't trust each other at all. Even though they share the same landmass, they're still separated by that imaginary line that we call the border. And they don't like each other very much because one of them is heavily communist, the other one like an authoritarian dictatorship, and the other is a sort of a kind of like Japan is, where it's like a constitutional monarchy, essentially, like some sort of like parliamentary democracy where they go through elections and things like that to put who's next in charge up for election. But you're more concerned with whether or not you can whine about borders than you are to actually look at why they exist and how they serve a purpose. And whether you agree with that purpose or not is irrelevant because the purpose is there, and because it's there, you need to be aware of it.
Of course, the conservative right always does this constantly, nonstop, and which is why they always get the heat for it.
By get the heat for it, you mean some idiot takes something someone says out of context one time, cries about it for 20 minutes while they write an hour-long Gawker blog, or they go to Pathos, or whatever inconsequential leftist bullshit people write in, and they say that the person's a racist because the person's concerned about the likelihood of someone getting murdered for their orientation if a terrorist gets into the country.
Blame CNN, and they call it fake news, but we all know the truth.
We know the truth! Yeah, because I'm sure that there's just millions of people listening to you and just... Right, okay.
They're fools. Gage thinks that things that are non-existent can be dealt with.
You mean like pedophiles and child molesters? And human traffickers?
Meaning
And rapists?
that he makes up fake news ideologies and then says, oh well, you, as in me, cannot
complete a sentence apparently.
Cannot find a way to deal with it. Instead you go and try to hide it, and try to cover up. How can I cover up something that never existed to begin?
You say it doesn't exist, so that's okay, so your whole argumentation is, well, that doesn't exist, so I didn't do anything wrong. Fuck you.
Anyway.
You know what you did.
I mean, that's impossible, and I mean, it just shows how Gage is failing to present himself in a positive and intellectual and intelligent spotlight.
You mean like how all you do is blow yourself and run yourself around in a roundabout? Like whenever someone asks you a question, well, it doesn't exist, get an education, you're a conservative, I win, done. And that's the thing, you can't argue to save your life. You never could. And the fact that you continue to say that you're smarter than everyone, even now, is sad. Leave me alone. Just leave me the fuck alone. You're annoying. All you're doing at this point is mentioning my name just because you want to. You're throwing my name out there because you think someone's honestly going to track me down over this stupid garbage.
Gage blames everyone else for his own personal problems.
No, I blame myself for my personal problems if my problems are a direct result of my actions. There's a big difference between something terrible and fucked up happening to you, and it fucks you up for a while, and then there's you making a stupid decision that ends up hurting you. There's a big difference between blaming someone else and then blaming yourself.
And forces people to be his scapegoat for his illogical actions against humanity.
Yeah, if I say you're an asshole for being a fucking asshole that goes around provoking people, you're the scapegoat. I'm sure it has nothing at all to do with the fact that you went around provoking people.
That's a non-given.
That's a given.
Gage always blames everybody else. He blames Amos Yee for Gage's problems. He blames me.
I have never once blamed Amos Yee for shit that happens to me in my personal life. When the fuck have I ever said, oh, my tire's flat, it must have been that fucking Amos Yee? No, it's probably because I must have hit a pothole and it probably popped my tire. Maybe I ran something over in the street. Maybe it was a piece of metal that popped my tire. At that point, my frustration goes towards the object that popped my tire or the fact that my tire is popped. It doesn't go to some random fucking Singaporean that I've never fucking met.
Me for his own problems. He blames everybody else for his own problems.
Do you have an example?
Yeah, he never
No? Okay.
looks in the mirror and actually challenges himself to change his own problems. And that's
So what you're saying is that if you have issues like with depression or anxiety, for example, like if you have issues with those, you're just supposed to look at yourself and blame yourself for problems that you're born with that you didn't ask for. Instead of like talking to a therapist and a counselor like most people do, you're just obligated to blame yourself for shit you didn't ask to have happen to you. Blame yourself for the shit other people have done to you that you didn't ask for. Blame yourself for the fucked up state your genetics has caused you to be in psychologically and emotionally. Blame yourself for all the things that have ever gone on in the world that you had no control over that hurt you in one way or another. Yeah, that's some really sage advice.
why many people are angry at him, but he's not.
By many people are angry with me, you mean you. Just say you. If you're mad at me, just say you're mad at me. Don't be one of these fucking morons that needs to tap dance around what he means.
Angry at himself. And until he starts getting angry at himself and his actions, and start changing his actions for the better.
Unless you start acting the way I want you to act, you're a bad person. Okay, Hitler. Okay, Hitler.
Good at everyone else. Only thing.
Yeah, the good of everyone else. Yeah, because if I told you that you're an asshole, it's the same thing as just whatever. I'm not going to pursue it, because I know that there's no point.
We start actually making real friends.
Making real friends. The people that you hang out with now that care about you, that you guys talk every day, you guys socialize with each other, those aren't real friends, because I don't like those people. What, so you want me to make friends with people that you like, even though I hate the fuck out of you?
Not just cult followers
Yeah, fuck
who
you.
just
Blow me.
who quote unquote like you because you're doing what they want, or because they're
If they're followers, they wouldn't. You stupid motherfucker. If they were followers, it means that they would like me regardless because they'd be indoctrinated, you stupid spedophile. Like, a follower is someone who like a sycophant. They mindlessly adhere to whatever the person says. That's a sycophant. If someone's leading you, then they would, like, dispose of you when they no longer see you're falling for their bullshit. That would be a leader, not a follower. Just because people can socialize with one another and not hate each other doesn't mean it's a cult. It means they actually do have the ability to socialize with people they get along with. The only reason I don't like you is because you're a sick fuck.
doing what you want. They'll actually
They don't have to do what I want. I don't have to do what they want either way.
like you for you.
Like, you're one to talk.
But of course, in Gage Kirby case, there's nothing really to like because he every person that tries to like him and tries to open up to him, he pushes away. And
Yeah, because you're in my life so much. You're in my life, observing everything I do from the moment I get up, eat breakfast, take a piss, brush my teeth, go to bed the next night. Yeah, you're in my life to the point where you can judge who I treat well and who I don't. Fuck yourself. Where the fuck do you get this sense of absolutism? Like you believe you know everything just because someone tells you to shut your mouth.
and that's evil against them until the point where they don't want to deal with him anymore. But by then,
You mean like
he's so
you?
hooked on the attention that he gets from abuse.
You're in no position at all to say that someone's hooked on attention that they get from being a pain in the ass, because you seem to be doing this specifically because you want to be a pain in the ass.
Using other people. At the end of the day, he just doesn't stop like he does with me.
Hey, bully man.
Gage thinks that people cannot change or control their own lives.
There's a big difference between someone changing their life because they know they're doing harm, and then there's someone that decides that they don't really care enough to change it like you do.
The fact of the matter is, people change all the time. However,
Not really. Not really. People don't change. Just because you have this bullshit delusion of people being a different person every day because in your words the Ganges keeps on flowing, that doesn't change who the person is. It just means they're behaving slightly different than yesterday because they might not be in the exact same mental state in regards to their mood. That is not the same thing as them being a different fucking person every day.
nobody has to change because you tell them to.
I'm not telling people to change because I know people like that won't change anyway.
Especially because you tell them to. Because
And yet you're the one telling other people to change because they make you ass hurt on the internet. Okay.
you're telling people to change for the negative. In my case, I'm not telling people to change at all.
Yes, you are. Yes, you fucking are. You want people to look at themselves and blame themselves for the shit that you've done to people, and you're trying to say that they're obligated to change because you want them to. If you'd be mad at yourself, maybe you'd be a better person. That's basically you saying you want someone to change. You want someone to change their mentality or their point of view because personally you don't know what the fuck to do with yourself if someone doesn't agree with you. It's like the concept of someone telling you to shut up makes you mad, so you have to keep blowing yourself and telling yourself you're a hero when you're not. You're an idiot.
What I'm telling people to do is think for themselves. If they want to change,
I tell people to think for themselves by telling people that the people that don't agree with me are the bad people. Yeah, it's thinking for themselves when you're intentionally trying to get them to go specifically towards you.
then they can change.
Telling people to avoid someone's content and shit because you're trying to make sure that people don't see and hear the shit that you've done.
They don't want to change. They don't have to change.
Unless, of course, they're listening to this moron right here named Stetson fucking Hardwick.
At the end of the day, the choice is theirs, not the conservative rights. And at the end of the day, we control our own destiny, not the conservative right.
Destiny is preordained by fate. It's not something you can control.
So therefore, whether you choose to change or not change, that's not my point. My point is that you have the opportunity to make that decision on your own.
Which is why you keep trying to make people make that decision at your behest. I love how everything you say is doublespeak. Everything you say is doublespeak.
On your own terms, not the terms of conservatives like Gage Kirby. Gage acts like he knows about human psychology.
I do. And I know that you're a fucking narcissist.
When in fact his logic on the subject is corrupted and anti-human at best.
So because I go by facts and science and things that people can actually prove with studies and research, it's corrupted. Yeah, coming from the person that says people need to throw out their antidepressants.
Meaning that he keeps thinking that humanity is stupid, and that
there's a big difference between saying that the human race is not very intelligent, and then there's saying that someone that's like X amount of years old is not mature enough to make a long-term decision because they might not fully comprehend the backlash. Stop taking what I say out of context, you fucking retard.
We the people cannot go and make...
We the people! By we the people, you mean pedophiles. You the pedophiles. Because, let's say, you're the voice of the pedophiles.
Our own decisions and choose our own lifestyle choices and just live our lives in peace. Because reality matters for thousands of years, for millions of years, the human race has...
Humans have not existed for millions of years, you dumb fuck. Here's the thing, the earliest humans existed were Homo habilis, or Homo erectus, which were primitive cave people. They were essentially monkey people. You dumb fuck. Monkey people! They didn't even have societies because they were too stupid to form societies at that given time. They were fucking apes that could just happen to stand up like gorillas can. That's it. And you're saying that those very primitive forms of the human race, millions of years ago, early, like not millions of years, like tens of millions, I mean like within like the single digits millions. You're saying that like 2 million years ago, the first primitive humans magically had governments and societies and shit. Then why the fuck did they go extinct if they were so intelligent?
Has made their own decisions. We never needed a mediator. We never needed someone to control us like a puppet.
Make up your fucking mind. Do you believe in a god or don't you? Because you don't know what the fuck you're saying half the time, it seems. You write 2 fucking Bibles, essentially saying that there was some sort of creator, and you say that, like, God is like an alien or some shit, like an old one from the fucking Cthulhu mythos. It's just, like, lingering beyond our current presence dimension, waiting for the time to wake up and, like, rearrange everything again. And yet, for some reason, you say that, like, make up your mind. Is there a creator or isn't there? Because you're going back on what you once said.
This is not Sesame Street. There are no people with their hands inside of us, controlling us, and moving our arms and legs. We do that ourselves.
I wish you'd move your neck in a loop of rope and then kick the stool off under yourself. Provided you can actually lift yourself off the ground enough to put your head through the noose.
Any human being can do that. And
yeah, like any person that's just been born should get behind the wheel of a car despite the fact they don't have kneecaps yet.
Even if you don't have any arms and legs, it's not the end of the world because there's a thing called technology.
There's a thing called technology. Yeah, we know that prosthetics exist, numbnuts. People are aware that prosthetic exists, but prosthetics are also really expensive. And give we the people a voice. You don't give people the voice, you give yourself a voice, and you start saying that you're a mouthpiece for society when society at large will tell you to go fuck yourself.
And of course, with artificial intelligence, AI, the future is a lot better for paraplegics and the disabled than ever before. Because now technology can help.
We also have stem cell research that might be able to actually repair damaged nerve endings, but you know.
The people to walk, help the blind to see, the deaf to hear, the mute to talk, and the illiterate to read. And
you can't read.
The uneducated to get
barely
the education that they most surely need.
Everyone needs to get educated because I'm a fucking narcissist.
And I hope that Gage Kirby will get the education that he most surely needs.
I wish you'd get the ass kicking that you most certainly deserve. I'd love to kick that fucking smug out of your face.
So that people like myself can move on and actually talk about other subjects instead.
You don't talk about other subjects. All you do is needlessly obsess about how bad of an asshole I am because I told you to leave me alone. Seriously, what the fuck is it with dumb motherfuckers like you? When people tell you to leave them alone, you still bring them up. Leave me the fuck alone, you fucking psychopath. I don't give a single fuck about anything you say because nothing you say is meaningful or intelligent. You sound like a fucking moron because all you end up doing is making a dipshit of yourself for the sole purpose of screaming about something that no one else really cares about anymore. You're trying to instigate a situation that's already over with because for whatever stupid fucking reason you don't know when to shut your ass. Like you're so in love with yourself and you're so full of your own fucking narcissism that you can't possibly believe that someone else could be right. You're an asshole. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares.
That's going on by him because he chooses to go and censor his YouTube where nobody can actually reply.
So because I block you because I get sick of you blowing up my comments every 30 seconds with some stupid retarded bullshit that nobody needs? Here's the thing. Why don't you actually make videos, numbnuts? Why don't you make some actual replies? Why don't you actually straight up say something that's actually coherent or intelligent? I will wait.
In an oppositional way.
So because I block you for being a retard who constantly blasts my fucking inbox with stupid horse shit because he doesn't know when to shut the fuck up? The reason I block you is because all you say is, you're a conservative, get an education, you're a bigot, you're a bully, get an education, that doesn't exist, that's fake news. That's all you say, you don't actually contribute shit to a conversation. That's the reason I blocked you, is because all you're gonna do is needlessly repeat the same shit 5 million times.
To his BS.
It's BS if I don't like it. Why can't you swear? If you swear, is Mother gonna hit you with a fucking frying pan?
Gage Kirby is not only afraid of change.
There's a difference between being afraid of change and then there's just not understanding why certain changes would need to be implemented in a society that openly doesn't really like the ideas of certain change.
But also hates those who do change for the better good of humanity and themselves.
You shut the fuck up, you brain-dead child molester.
Meaning that Gage is a stumbling block in other people's lives. Gage doesn't really care about anyone. Gage doesn't even care about the people who join his cult.
Gage doesn't care about anyone because he refuses to allow the pedophiles to fuck children. I'm gonna give you an axe kick to the fucking head.
Gage doesn't care about anybody.
He doesn't care about anyone because he doesn't care about me. I'm the voice of everyone. I'm the one that tells everyone what's right and wrong. I am God. I'm the arbiter. Tell me I'm the arbiter. Or you can shut the fuck up. Maybe take 5 seconds out of your day to just think about why nobody else is agreeing with you.
I mean, which is why he doesn't have a girlfriend or
Kate.
friends in general.
Damien, Steve, Cass, Jennifer, Athena, my friend Dakota, the Kiss Fanatic, Crazed Lunatic, Slashing Hades. List goes on and on and on. Oh, Zach, the Celtics guy. I have a bunch of friends. A couple of my friends happen to be 3 of my friends happen to be involved in same-sex relationships. 2 of them are a couple, and one of them is one of the people in a couple in a pair of people that's in a same-sex relationship.
I mean, the reality of the matter is Gage.
Reality of the matter is, if I don't like him, no one else can.
Is quite rude.
He's mean to me, so he hates everyone.
It's quite a daunting task to deal with him.
If it's a daunting task, then shut the fuck up. If it's really so hard to deal with me, then leave me the fuck alone. I told you to leave me the fuck alone a week ago. And then you made 3 more of these little fucking things. Like every single, let's see, 1, 2, Three. You made three of these little fucking things within the span of like 18 fucking hours. And you've been doing it specifically because I told you to leave me alone. Because I told you I'm filing a cease and desist. And because when you found out I was filing a cease and desist, you needed to get all your fucking ass blasted and all your fucking butt hurt out in the open, so you can say how bad of a person I am without actually being obligated to prove anything. I think it's going to be funny when you get served those papers in Exodus Recovery and then you're going to freak the fuck out because you've essentially been told not to mention me by name again or the lawyers are going to fuck your ass.
Very daunting task. One wonders why I haven't hired somebody to just handle him for me. I should.
You can't hire someone to do any of this shit for you because A, you don't have the money. B, people that hear what I'm saying are going to look at what the fuck you've been doing and say, no, I'm not going to do this stupid shit because it's a waste of my fucking time, paycheck or not, this is ridiculous. Or C, no one's going to take this shit seriously enough because it's some stupid internet drama. That's the reason nobody really fucking cares. Honestly, I don't really fucking care. I'm burned out on this subject. The only reason I'm doing this is because you just pissed me off so much that I decided I'm just going to sit down and fucking do it.
But then I don't want other people to be victim of him either.
I don't want other people to hear what he has to say and maybe realize that I'm full of shit. Really, that's all it is. You want people to see only what you say and not what the other person is saying. People can easily look at the shit you've said when they go to your YouTube account and see the stupid shit you're trying to advocate for. And that immediately is enough to say, yeah, this dude's a fucking lunatic. There's a big difference between simply saying, okay, what's this dude talking about? Oh, he said this, he did this, okay, I'll check that out. Sure enough, what I'm saying is proven by your own fucking actions.
You know, I'd rather take the burden myself than have two people be burdened by
it. It's a burden. It's a burden to be told to shut the fuck up by a lawyer.
Change is a good thing. Positive change is a good thing. The change that Gage Kirby promotes is called negative change.
It's not a change in general. It's just simply saying it's not okay to fuck children.
Push other people to change only because of the fact that the person who's doing the pushing doesn't like people who are different than them. They're intolerant.
I don't care if you're gay, straight, bisexual, white, Asian, Hispanic, Middle Eastern, I don't care. My issue stems specifically from what you're trying to advocate for and not your orientation, ethnicity, or race. If you're so fucking stupid that you ignore everything I fucking say, where I straight up say it's not okay to diddle children, then that's your problem.
If I was pushing change, my change would be for the benefit of the individual. And the change would be a universal change, but it will also be a change based on the individuality of humanity.
Make up your mind. Are you talking about the individuality of the average person or humanity? Because right now you're saying everyone's an individual, humanity's changing. Make up your mind. Which is it?
In that there will be shared aspects and there will be individual aspects, both existing within the same prospect, the same program, the same.
But if you acknowledge that people have shared aspects, so doesn't that mean they have like shared morals, same beliefs, shared ethics? Do you not believe that people have similar ethics and morals when it comes to not condoning child fuckers? Like, has it not crossed your mind that the reason people oppose you so heavily is because you sound like a legitimate fucked up sociopath? Like you sound like a crazy asshole who's straight up saying that people are not allowed to disagree with him because
agenda, if you will. Of course, Gage Kirby doesn't understand that because he thinks everyone is the same, and those who are different are somehow abominations.
No, I'm saying that people have like a generalized people have like a general ethics or a general system of ethics or morals that they believe, because they understand that delineating from some of those ethics could actually cause harm to other people, if not society as a whole. There's a big difference between saying it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be transgender, it's okay to be bisexual, and then they're saying it's okay to be children. No, because the other one is fucked up. The diddling children thing is inexcusable because it's someone that doesn't know any better. I don't care if it's a gay couple, bisexual couple, transgender couple in a happy, healthy relationship, because it's two people that know what they're doing with each other. There's a big difference between someone that doesn't know what they're doing and someone that does. Like, for whatever reason, it's like you're a spastic retard and you refuse to accept that you're a spastic retard.
His own words, not mine.
No, it's not your own word. It's not my own words, because instead of actually straight up saying what I really mean, you take what I say out of context because you're a lying little bitch.
Gage Kirby is indeed jealous of myself.
Why would I be jealous of some brainless, homeless fucking moron who's done everything for themselves to destroy their own reputation single-handedly? Why would I ever be jealous of some whiny little fucking moron who's done everything in their way to damage their self-image? Will you do me a favor and stop fucking projecting? The ring on my finger ought to tell you a little bit more. Like, remember, you're in a long-term relationship with someone and you're happy with this person. And despite the fact that you're happy with this person, you're not in a relationship even though you are. You're evil even though you're not. You hate everyone even though you don't. You don't have friends even though you do. Will you stop fucking projecting? You're projecting. You're straight up saying that someone else's problems are not your problems. Or you're saying that your problems are the problems of somebody else. That's all it is. It's just grade A fucking projection, and it's fucking sad.
Am I intelligent?
You're not intelligent. You're just delusional. There's a difference between being brilliant and insane.
He hates those who are smart and has the wisdom to expose his fools.
Has the wisdom, more smart. Think about the words you just fucking said. In the context that you said them in. You sound like an illiterate. If you want to say that he envies those who have higher intelligence or he is jealous of those who are more intelligent, those are statements that would be coherent statements. Those would be reasonable and well thought out sentences that are structured well. You, however, cannot structure your sentences because you write like a crack baby.
Foolishness. Meaning that Gage called me stupid all the time, but
because you're an idiot. You say things that are patently untrue about people right in the open, and when people straight up prove you wrong, you bitch instead of saying, you know what, maybe I'm wrong. Because you're a narcissist.
I'm not as stupid as Gage.
You are a stupid fucking motherfucker, and the reason that you are is because all you do is cry like an idiot. Whenever you don't get your way, you throw tantrums. You start making bullshit like this up to try to damage someone's reputation and attack their integrity as a human being because someone tells you to stop talking about them and leave them alone.
Claims that I am.
Yes, you are.
I'm a lot smarter than Gage.
If you're so much smarter, then why don't you have a fucking job? If you're so fucking smart, why can't you drive a car? Why can't you pass a literacy test? Why is it that when Dr. Brown talked to me in that interview, I should have recorded that, but I couldn't because confidentiality. Why is it that when your Dr. Brown, who's your psychologist, talked to me, he told me that you said a whole bunch of really insane things that, albeit he personally did not feel the need to correct you on, he says that off the record it was kind of weird to think that a grown man in his, like, nearly 30, if not 31 almost, says a whole bunch of really crazy things that are patently untrue based upon society as a whole, and the person still tries to tell themselves that it's true, even though the doctor has more or less tried to explain to you in certain terms that it's not the way society is, it's the way you are. And instead of actually trying to get some fucking help when the doctor recommends you take your meds, he said you stop taking your meds, you stop taking the prescription forms they give you to turn into the pharmacy to get your prescription refilled. He says you basically just started skipping out your narcissism medication. That's kind of telling.
Is currently and probably will ever be in the present time unless he chooses to change and get an education.
He needs to get an education! Coming from the dude who's a narcissist.
For one thing, Gage is one-sided and close.
He's one-sided because he refuses to tell me I'm right. He's one-sided because he refuses to constantly parrot back my narrative. Here's the thing, no one is obligated. No one is obligated to ever do anything you want them to, just because you say they should. Nobody on this fucking planet is obligated to just pander to you and tell you you're right, even in situations that you're obviously not. Like, no one on this fucking planet, anywhere, is just inherently obligated to tell you that you deserve to be treated like you're the champion of the people or that you're a voice for everyone, because you're not.
Close-minded.
It's only closed-minded if it disagrees with me.
On the other hand, understand the multiple sides of life, and I also understand the realities of...
Let me get this straight. You say you can understand the multiple sides of life, but when someone kills somebody in self-defense, you call them a murderer. You don't see things in a gray format in certain instances. You see things are like entirely all good or all bad. You don't know that there's a gray area where a situation might warrant you to cross a line that you wouldn't normally fucking cross. That's the thing. You try so hard to be this like straight edge goody two shoes, and then it turns out you're one of the worst goody two shoes ever because you're a massive fucking hypocrite.
The many different cultures and traditions and ways of living.
What does multiculturalism have to do with you being a sick fuck pedophile?
Exist in the world today. Because Gage Kirby is easily deceived by fake news.
You're easily deceived by fake news. You listen to people who go to school, who know what they're talking about, who actually went to did research and actually did things to confirm these things. They actually did studies. It means you're not. It means you're deceived because you refuse to be paranoid about everything.
But I am not deceived by the very things that are illogical and which is wrong.
If you're not deceived by things that are illogical, then you'd stop saying like everyone like there's some sort of like giant sky deity that exists outside of our ability to comprehend, like fucking Lovecraft's outer gods. Just created the universe, left it as is, and then let it go to shit, and then they're wondering why the fuck things went bad.
Because unlike Gage Kirby, I have not fallen ill to Satan's devices.
Satan's devices! Yeah, like Satan. Everything is Satan. Satan this, Satan that, Satan with the wiffle ball bat. Seriously, you sound like a dumb motherfucker because you're essentially saying, well, all Christians are racist homophobes, even though this person's an agnostic. All people are racist homophobes because they don't like me. It's a victim of Satan. Well, make up your mind. Do you believe in a god or do you not? Because you're not making any fucking sense.
Am I saying that Gage Kirby is a lost cause?
I hope you are, because then you'll shut the fuck up.
No, not really. Gage Kirby is not a lost cause as long as he takes the proper precautions to go and better his life.
You need to do everything I tell you to do or you're not a good person. You need to wear clothes that you don't want to wear. You need to use words that I say you can use. You need to appease me. To that I say, fuck you, I'm not going to.
But as long as he's living the life that he's living right now, he's a lost cause.
As long as you're living a life that's up to your own standards and you act like your own person and you don't mindlessly suck the chode of a brain-dead ideology, you're a bad person. Meanwhile, Captain Fuckface McJerkoff on internet here seems to think that the best way to live your life is to the standards of another fucking human being who has done nothing with themselves.
He's just gonna die alone.
Die alone despite being in a relationship, having friends, having family. Projection much?
In a pool of sick.
You're basically just rephrasing something I said about you dying in a puddle of your own urine when you finally realize that you're unable to do anything with yourself except scream when you don't get your way. You can't even think of your own insults.
And not remembered. Because no one wants to remember a bully.
No one wants to remember a boy. Grow up. Grow up. You simpering bitch. You're a bully because you call me a sick fuck child molester for being a sick fuck child molester. Eh. Seriously, do you just wake up every day looking for a reason to victimize yourself, and if it doesn't, you just provoke someone until they give you a reason?
Everyone remembers the good guys. He will remember Muhammad Ghani. He will remember Nelson Mandela.
You're not a good guy. You're just a pussy. You're not a good guy. You're just an asshole. That's all you are. You're just a stupid fucking prick who's gone out of his fucking way to instigate with people, and then when people tell him to leave them alone, you act like everyone's an asshole. Like, when I told you I was filing a cease and desist, you went out of your way to write this shit.
You remember Maya Angelou. People remember Oprah Winfrey. People remember Martin Luther King. People
What the fuck has Oprah Winfrey done?
remember Michael Jackson, but no one remembers no one remembers the first Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, you know, because if you call some sick fuck pedophile a dipshit on the internet for harassing you, it means that you're the same as a diehard racist. Wow. Another false equivalency.
So people remember good people, not bad people. So if anything, Gage Kirby will be buried in the grave or cremated or whatever. Or tossed in a ditch. I don't know when he's...
Or tossed in a... Yes, because I'm gonna have my family... If I die, just throw me in a fucking drainage ditch. That'd be a fucked up way to scare people, although if it rains enough, you got like what is essentially a disinterred corpse floating down the road. Floating down the gutter, scared the fuck out of some people.
His plans are for his body and after he dies, if he even made plans. And he'll just...
Why would I make plans right now? I'm in my 20s. Like, maybe when I'm in my 50s, I'll start thinking about it, because that's like another 20, 30 years at the most. Considering my genetic history.
be forgotten.
Be forgotten! Yeah, what exactly is going to be your legacy, moron? What is going to be your legacy? Like, what is going to be your legacy? Is your legacy going to be these brain-dead fucking audio recordings of you saying everyone's a bully and a bigot because they tell you that it's not okay to fuck kids? Like, is that going to be your legacy? Is that what you're going to go down in history for, as being, like, the pedophile, crybaby, boo-hoo, everyone's a victim?
Like all the dictators of the world. Forgotten.
I didn't realize that calling you an asshole made me the same thing as, like, Joseph Stalin, Mao Zedong, or Adolf Hitler, or Pol Pot.
And not missed. Gage enjoys bullying people who are different than himself. Then Gage would rather enjoy bullying people who are different than himself than he would to be tolerant of the individual rights.
Can you just say pedophiles? Just say that I don't like pedophiles. Just fucking say that. Just say I don't like pedophiles, child molesters, racists, or terrorists. Or rapists. Just say that. Just say I don't like those people for the terrible shit they do to others. Why is it so fucking hard? Oh yeah, now remember you're a narcissist and you need to always make yourself look like the good guy, even in the situation where you're obviously not. I almost forgot that.
Of humanity.
Humanity. Victim.
Gage always enjoys bullying people.
Hey, my boy, where?
I mean, I challenge you to sit there and watch one of Gage's 2-hour-long videos, and you...
It's not a video, it's a stream. Like, it's a stream. Like, 2 hours would imply... Like, a video implies that it's, like, pre-recorded. Like a premiere. A stream is something that's occurring in real time. If you don't know the difference, I don't know what else to tell you except maybe get a functioning frontal lobe.
You will feel the same way that I feel.
So what you're saying is, you tell someone that they will feel the same way to more or less try to dissuade them from watching after you encourage them to watch so that maybe they can draw their own conclusion. Do you just excel at running yourself the fuck over? Oh, put that in the trash for a minute. Like really, all you're doing is excelling at running yourself over, because 1 minute you'll say that someone needs, I dare you to go watch, like, X video that this person's made or uploaded. or that they're like the stream that they've recorded like a X amount of days ago or hours ago. And then at the same time you say, well, you would feel the same way I feel, so you probably shouldn't watch it. It's more or less designed to be, it's a fucking herding tactic. It's something that someone does to try to make someone afraid of looking at the content someone else is saying or producing. Because they know they can't justify what they're saying, so they need to cook up a reason as to why the other person's a bad guy.
Distraught and wishing I had no ears. Regretting ever watching the video. Of course, I have to watch Gage.
No, you don't have to watch. Like, you don't have to watch me. I'm not telling you to watch me. Like, here's the thing. I'm not telling you to watch me. I'm not asking you to watch me. You keep coming back looking for me to mention you because you're such a fucking bitch that you're obsessed with me mentioning your name. And honestly, after this, I don't want to hear your name again. I don't want to see your name again. I don't want to hear about you again. I don't mind memes, but the memes need to be toned down a bit, because honestly I've seen so fucking many of them that it's actually starting to get tiresome. Leave me alone. Fuck off. I'm tired of hearing about you. I'm tired of talking about you. I'm tired of hearing your fucking voice. I'm tired of even realizing that you fucking exist in the same plane of existence that I currently occupy. Because you're just that much of a drain on other people's psyche. That's all you are. You're like a mental fucking leech. You latch on to people and just drain away at their psyche by bothering them until they're ready to pull you off and stomp you on the ground.
Videos, not because I give a crap about what he says, but because
you do give a crap because you need to bitch about everything I say regardless of how true it is. I could say the sky is blue and that the grass is green if it's watered right, and you'd still find a way to bitch about it because it's something that you don't like anyone saying, even if it's factually correct.
It's important research of the conservative right.
It's important research to take streams out of context because I'm so fucking stupid I can't comprehend that most of the things he says are just a persona on the internet to entertain people. I'm so stupid that I don't understand that when someone's doing what is essentially like a micro dose of acting. I'm too stupid to understand that not everyone in the world's gonna be the way they are on the internet all the time. Why would I want to do that?
You know, how can you protect yourself from your enemy when you don't even know the plans of your enemy or the thought processes of your enemy? As the Bible says, know thy enemy. And I do know Gage Kirby to a T.
No, you don't. You really don't. But keep telling yourself you do. Keep telling yourself you do. It's funny. It'll be funny when you make a complete dipshit of yourself.
And it breaks my heart that Gage Kirby chooses to live the life that he chooses.
It breaks my heart that he chooses to be a normal person that doesn't condone kitty fiddling.
And it's very disappointing that he chooses to lash out at other people for their differences and for their sexualities and their life.
It's not a sexuality, you sick fuck.
Their choices and whatnot. But at the end of the day, that's the life that he decided to choose. And the consequences of that lifestyle is his and his alone to bear. It's not my fault.
Is that a threat, bitch?
That Gage Kirby chose to be an idiot.
You're an idiot because you don't agree with me. Coming from the narcissist.
Wash my hands of it, and no matter how much he tries to blame it on me.
I do blame it on you because you keep mentioning my name. You're intentionally throwing my name out there like every other sentence because you want people to bother me. Fuck yourself.
The world shall know it's not my fault. For I did not tell him to live this way. I told him to live a better life, but he chose not to listen to wisdom.
I told him how to live, so I'm wise. I told him that his life was my decision, so I'm wise. I tried to tell him what to do, so I'm smart. I told him that I'm a genius, so I am. Blow your fucking head off and get it over with. You simpering cunt.
For fools would die, but fools would die in their foolishness, but the wise will live on forever.
You're not wise, you're just a narcissist.
So say all of us. Gage
all of us, you mean you.
Thinks that humanity is nothing more than stupid bigots who can't think for themselves and control.
I love how you just, like, Yeah, whatever.
to contribute to humanity or
You
society.
don't contribute to humanity. All you do is cry like an asshole when you don't get your way, and then you call people bigots and tell you to leave them alone. My cease and desist will be sent to you within the next 28 hours, within the next 24, 48 hours the most.
You know, and it's a shame that he wasted his life. I spent two.
It's a shame that he disagrees with me and he simply entertains other people for a couple hours here and there on the internet. You realize that there are 24 hours in a day. If you spend 2 hours doing something, 8 hours sleeping, that's 10 hours. That means you have another 14 hours to do whatever else the fuck you want, so whatever.
2 years studying his cult and
Yeah, studying, like, yeah, cult, right. Right, okay.
studying his way of being. And I know one
I look at his persona on the internet, and that must be who he really is, because I'm too fucking stupid to understand that a lot of it is a front made to entertain people.
thing. I am so glad that I am a liberal.
You're not a liberal, you're a faggot. There's a difference. And I call you a faggot because you're a fucking moron that has the mental capacity of a bundle of nails wrapped with some wire. You're a stupid fucking leftist nutbag who decides that everyone else is a bigot if they don't agree with him.
He forces people to talk and act like him, and threatens and attacks those who
How am I forcing everyone to talk and act like me what's so fucking ever? How have I ever once tried to influence anyone to just act a certain way or be a certain way for no reason?
who excuse me.
Oh, you burped. You're not professional. Hypocrite.
He threatens. He forces people to talk and act just like him.
No, I don't. People agree with me because what I'm saying for the most part sounds sensible. If people find what I'm saying funny or informative or interesting, they watch. If they don't, that's on them. That's their choice. I don't really mind. But the fact is, you're trying to say that everyone that doesn't agree with you is some sort of racist or bigot or moron. That's what makes people not like you. That's what makes people really fucking hate you, is because you go out of your way to start shit with people, call them bigots if they don't agree with you, and when they tell you to shut your fucking ass, you cry like a moron.
And threatens and attacks those with enough sense to stand their ground against him.
By stand your ground, you mean lie a bunch of times about someone, then cry like an asshole when you don't get your way.
Meaning that anybody who has a strong heart and strong will and strong soul and a strong body, who stands up against
You don't have a strong body. You're an overweight, pot-bellied moron whose legs don't even work.
and the monstrosities
Monstrosities. You call me a faggot on the internet, so it's the same thing as genocide.
and the objectification that Gage Kirby shows against women. And
You're not a woman. And what do you mean like, when have I ever objectified a woman at all? Online or verbally or anywhere? Cite a fucking clip.
people of different genders and different religions and such. People who stand
So because I make fun of religion in general, it must be bigoted and not because I don't like religion at all.
up against the BS that Gage Kirby spews on a daily basis every single day because he has no life.
Cry, you fucking faggot!
They're the ones that get bullied. I know this for a fact because I am a victim. The only
You are a pussy who cries about everything. When someone tells you to shut the fuck up and leave them alone, you make it a point to bother them more. Leave me the fuck alone. Shut the fuck up.
the right to freedom of speech and expression. But
Okay, so you have the right to lie about someone and leak their own name multiple times and in a way to get people to harass them, but I'm not allowed to say your name that you've publicly disclosed or read things that you've put within the public domain. Hypocrite.
Gage Kirby doesn't believe in the right to freedom of speech and expression.
Coming from the same motherfucker who tries to flag people down under false DMCAs.
All he believes is that everyone should repeat what he has to say.
Which is basically that's your mindset to a T. Stop projecting.
What he does is how he rolls.
Projecting.
Gage Kirby is what I like to call an egotistic maniac
Projection.
who's a danger to society and a danger to himself.
Projection.
And I don't like saying bad things about people, but at the end of the day,
Yes, you do. You say it all the time. You call people idiots, bigots, racists, misogynists, all because they don't agree with you. You enjoy saying things that you think will make people flip into a moral panic when you call someone something because you want to get a flock of people up someone's ass.
I'm not gonna lie and call the fool wise and the wise fool.
I'm not gonna lie and be honest with myself. I'm gonna tell myself I'm a genius even in situations where I'm obviously full of shit.
Speaking standing by him is torture. I mean, for one thing, he doesn't smell that good anyway. And
He doesn't smell that good anyway. Well, at least I shower every single day. You fucking sped. You're the one that looks like he smells like baked ass and B.O.
number two is the fact that he drains the life out of anybody who knows them, who isn't brainwashed.
So what you're saying is that because you're a moron who gets easily offended by everything someone says if they don't agree with you, it means that they're like sapping the life out of you. Coming from the fucking leech who attaches himself to people's psyche by bothering them nonstop and drains away at them until they finally have enough of his bullshit to rip him off and stomp his ass. Seriously, when you're done blowing yourself, that'd be nice. Stop dropping your shit. Next it'll be the soap. Alright.
He forces people to talk and act like him. That's all.
No, I don't. If people happen to agree with what I say, it's because they personally believe it as well. This is not the same thing as forcing someone to be this way. People don't like you because you act like a shitty human being to everyone you encounter for the most bullshit reasons possible. All you know how to do is cry like an asshole when you don't get what you want.
Also true as well.
It's true because I say it is.
Drill sergeant. You know, Gage is like one of those people who go off and say, you know, you're gonna wake up 6 in the morning, make your bed, and salute the flag. You get blown up by a landmine. It's really unfair because it separates families. But of course, conservatives are known for separating families. I mean, look what Donald Trump is doing with immigrants. Everything that he hears me say is taken out of context.
No, it's not. No, it isn't. When you say people need to change their lives because you want them to, you want them to change their lives because you want them to. You're not really doing it because you think you're doing what's right for them. You want them to change so that they don't say things about you. You're essentially saying that people are inherently obligated to change their lifestyle because you personally don't agree with it. That kind of sounds like a bigot.
No, well, it's not taken out of context because you said yes, but he doesn't know what Gage doesn't know what context means.
I know exactly what context means. It means the format in which you've said a statement or made a statement. And you take my statements out of context frequently. If I call you a dumbass, you say, well, he calls gay people dumbasses. Here's the thing. If it's you specific, it's not the gay community, it's you as a person, not as someone who's gay, as an idiot. I love how you lie so fucking much. It's so fun to listen to you lie.
Context is the definition of the meaning behind what is being said.
No shit.
And Gage doesn't understand the fact that I know more about his context than he.
No, you fucking don't, because you read into everything I say like it's talking about everyone. You're so fucking stupid you refuse to accept individual accountability for shit that I say directly to you. You're such a dumb motherfucker that you say, if I call you an asshole for being an asshole, you say, well, you ain't all gay people. No, it means I think you're an asshole. You, as a person. Not as a gay person, as a person in general. You're so fucking stupid, you're obsessed with identity politics. Everything that you do has to be a fixture of your identity, because you're a stupid shit. You're so obsessed with who you are, or who you identify, or how you identify as, that you can't just be a human being. Instead, you have to be all a human being who's, well, I'm this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Yeah, that's how people compartmentalize themselves. You're part of the problem.
does about my context. When Gage says something hateful, he means it. He doesn't joke.
Yeah, I do. I make jokes all the time. They may be harsh and people might not like what I say, but it's a joke nevertheless. Just because you personally don't like the joke I make doesn't mean it's not a joke. It just means you get triggered and offended by it and you need to cry about it.
First off, his jokes are not funny. He's not.
Comedy's subjective. Humor is subjective. You don't have to find me funny, but that doesn't mean everyone else is inherently obligated to think that I'm not funny either. Everyone's permitted to laugh at what they laugh about within reason.
He's not like Jerry Seinfeld. He's not like Dave Chappelle. He's not.
I'm surprised you like Dave Chappelle, considering the fact that he's made a lot of jokes about SJWs.
Like Tony Danza or Alec Baldwin. They're funny. Gage.
How could you watch a Dave Chappelle sketch and not get offended, considering the fact that you're a diehard SJW? Or is it only a joke if someone that you recognize as a comedian makes the joke? Is the joke only funny if it's someone that's famous for making jokes saying it? Or would you attack Bill Burr?
Gage is more pathetic. He's depressing.
He's depressing. Let me cry and read.
I mean, he never tells an actual joke.
Alright, here's a joke for you. Your existence. Your joke is a cruel existence played upon the world by your parents because they refuse to wear a condom.
Conservative brainwash, but he's laughing.
So what you're saying is that, like, what about roasts, for example? Roasts are where people start ribbing someone on live TV. Is a roast not funny because they make snarky, harsh, sarcastic remarks about the person that's being roasted? Or is it only funny if the joke is like some PG bullshit where it's like, I'm taking across the road?
Laugh and laugh. That's only because they're afraid that if they say anything against them, that he'll go and make their lives hell.
So what you're saying is that if I make jokes about someone and criticize them for being a brain-dead cretin, it's the same thing as just going to a person's home and burning their possessions and breaking shit.
I should know he did that to me. Hey, you know, he'll go on and on and on. Oh, well, these people can't tell jokes. These people, they can't tell jokes. The SJWs, they can't take a joke because they're a bunch of pussies. And
they can't, because when people like you hear a joke you don't like, your first thought is to try to get the people fucking canceled. You're part of the fucking problem. People like you, when you hear a joke you don't like, or if you hear a joke that you personally don't mind, but then you see someone else offended by it, you go to fucking Pathos to write a fucking blog on that person's behalf when they don't fucking know you, when they never fucking talk to you, and then you write some boohoo crybaby bullshit essay about the injustice of comedians. People like you don't listen to jokes. You don't like it when people say anything mean or harsh that might be funny, because you get triggered by everything. You wake up in the morning looking for a reason to claim you're a victim, and if you don't have a reason, you'll gladly make one up.
And they're a bunch of wusses, and they're a bunch of sissies.
You are a sissy. You cry about everything. You could stub your toe, and instead of saying, ow, damn it, or man, that hurt, it's like, eh! Because that's just the kind of person you are.
They're a bunch of beta males. All this stuff.
I wouldn't say betas, I'd just say they're a bunch of fucking crybabies who throw temper tantrums about nothing and expect everyone to solve their problems by throwing tantrums.
But the reality of the matter is the fact...
The reality of the matter is, if I can't cry about something and call someone a bigot over it, I don't know what I'd do with myself. I would actually maybe get therapy and maybe realize that I'm psychologically fucked up if I'd actually have to look at myself in the mirror and realize that not everything in the world has to be a doxing campaign.
That Gage just doesn't understand the context of what other people are saying.
Yes, I do. I understand the context here is you're trying to say that someone's an asshole because they simply point out the fact that people freak out over jokes and they try to get people canceled over the jokes.
Nor did he care about the context of what other people are saying.
The context is important, but the problem is every time excuse me, every time you say something, you either take it out of context or you just say something that's so stupid that I can't help but make fun of it.
Gage is a enigma, wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a vest, wrapped in a
I'm a nautilus shell of mystery. Each chamber leads to a darker and more mysterious mystery. The only difference is, to you it's a mystery, to everyone else I'm just some person who enjoys making harsh remarks and making comments that might make people laugh, as well as scrutinizing stupid bullshit that makes no logical sense. But remember, if someone scrutinizes his stupid shit, it must be bigotry and not because he's actually concerned about what it could mean for the country at large.
wrapped in a package, wrapped in a package laced with anthrax and ready to explode and take out an entire town. That's what Gage Kirby is.
Yeah, so because I'm critical and sarcastic and I make fun of a bunch of people, it's the same thing as me being like a fucking biological weapon. What, so I like walk into a town and start making some sarcastic smartass remarks, next thing you know everyone's dead? Just by me saying, hey, I think you're being a bit of a moron?
In a nutshell.
Cry, 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 cry!
Meaning that it looks like a package. He looks like a nice person. He looks like...
I normally am. I'm usually not a complete asshole unless you give me a reason to be, and the problem is you've given me nothing but justification to act that way. You're so fucking stupid you think that people disliking you for the stupid shit you've pulled is like not enough reason for someone to say, fuck you, go away.
Like a nice guy. Then you talk with him and you regret everything.
Then you talk with him after telling him that something really fucked up or traumatic that happened to him never happened, and when he disagrees with you, that makes him a bigot.
You regret knowing him, you regret trying to respect him, you regret even knowing...
You never tried to respect anyone. All you ever do is tell people that they're fucking stupid if they don't agree with you. That's all you've ever done. That's all you will ever do. Whenever someone doesn't agree with him, you call them a stupid fucking bigot, tell them that they don't deserve to be alive, tell them that they're a cancer to the human race, tell them X and X things that you then say they're not allowed to tell you, and then later you bitch and scream and cry when they call you out for doing the same shit you told them not to.
His name. And even when I say the name Gage Kirby, it gives me chills in my spine.
It gives me Is it like fucking Beetlejuice? Is it like fucking Beetlejuice? You say my name 3 times and it pop up like a puff of smoke? You summoned me, what for? I'm afraid of his name. I'm afraid. Oh, you fucking pussy. It gives me chills to say a name. Yeah, like fucking Voldemort.
Because it's like saying, it's like repeating, it's like almost like that movie Candyman, where you stand in the mirror and you say Candyman 5 times.
Yeah, the Candyman thing. Except, instead of a serial killer with a hook for a hand, it's some dude that tells you you're a moron for being a psycho.
He's supposed to pop up, and you know, he's supposed to pop up and like gouge your eyes out or something like that. I haven't seen the movie in a long time. You know, Gage Kirby is like Carrie. Like the movie, you know, like the movie Carrie. The movie
So, a person with psychokinetic abilities that can move things with their mind?
called Carrie, and the character in the movie called Carrie is named Carrie.
I mean, the character in the movie called Carrie is called Carrie because the movie's Carrie, and they're like, what the fuck?
And, you know, it's like...
Sorry, I couldn't keep with that gag. I couldn't do it. Because I was afraid I'd just start running myself over with that.
Carrie looks hot. She looks cute. She looks nice.
Carrie was actually a nice person until she had that pig blood poured on her, then she got pissed. But the problem is that she was a good person, but she had a lot of underlying stressors that caused her to undergo that episode that she went through. Again, the context behind the character explains why they turn out the way they are in most stories and films. But people like you don't like the context because, well, this person did something bad, they're bad, even though people did something to them to provoke them first. That's like saying, this is bit by a rattlesnake, rattlesnake's bad. Like, what happened? Did you not see it? Were you fucking with it? They don't ask that. It's like, well, you're bit.
But at the end of the day, she's like just a general person. You know, someone you can befriend, and someone who can you know, who would care for you and you care for her. But at the end of the day, you know, Carrie has a secret. And that secret is demonic. It's
No, it's not demonic. Carrie was not possessed. She had psychokinetic abilities. Mind powers, idiot. Mind powers. She had the, like in the original film and in the adaptation, she had the ability to move things with her fucking mind. It wasn't demonic. Her mother was just fucking insane. Her mother was a crazy religious zealot. The same kind of zealot that you claim other people are, but that they're not. Are you so... Did you ever actually read the fucking story or see the movie? Did you ever actually see the movie all the way through and actually know what the real definition of, like, what the real ability behind her powers was? Just like Drew Barrymore in Firestarter, it wasn't demonic, it was psychokinetic. The only difference is it was pyrokinesis.
evil. It's not worth it.
Yeah, you know, because moron.
That's what Gage Kirby is exactly like. If you look at Gage Kirby and you don't know Gage Kirby like I know Gage Kirby, you just say, well, I don't get it. He seems like a nice guy. I mean, yeah, sure, he's
I normally am. That's the thing, I usually don't try to be an asshole. You've given me nothing but reason to be so, though.
face is a bit greasy and, you know, and like he chews with his mouth open, and he doesn't have proper manners or etiquette when it comes.
I'm not gonna talk to you like we're in a high-end restaurant that's $500 per plate. And I'm not gonna dress like I'm going out for a night on the town if I'm just gonna casually sit here in my chair and talk to people. What would be the point? If it was a big occasion, then yes, most definitely. But I'm not gonna dress like someone that you want me to dress like just so you can beat off to it. That's the thing, you say you want to change people, but you're trying to change people right now. You're trying to change them because you don't like them. Because you want to control someone. People like you have this desire to control people, and if you don't, you freak out because you don't know what to do with yourself. It's kind of fucked up. Well, extremely fucked up.
To making YouTube videos, but at the end of the day, he seems cool. But when you get to know him,
When you don't know me at all, that's the thing. You don't know me at all. You're essentially saying me telling you to leave me alone and calling you an asshole for stalking me is the same thing as you knowing me for years and years and years of my life. You don't know shit about me except my name.
you see what I mean. Now, I don't mean get to know him as you've been brainwashed by him.
Yeah, don't get to know him on a social level where you see him making jokes and having normal conversations with everyone. Don't do that. Get to know him when you've made him angry, where you've pissed him off, and you've caused him to direct his anger at you. Right. Good idea.
I mean, you get to know him as in you actually see who he is.
So because I'm either calm or mad because someone does something screwed up, like, you don't seem to realize that there's like a build-up between those things?
With the open mind.
It's open-minded if you automatically treat him like he's evil! What the fuck? Yeah, it's open-minded if you automatically assume the person must be an evil bastard because some delusional dumbass on the internet cries about it. Don't ask this person about the story from start to finish. Take what Stetson says seriously at face value, and that's good enough. No wonder you have 3 subs. It's you and 2 burners.
And of course, open mind doesn't mean brainwashing, because Gage probably thinks that, you know, people.
No, your whole idea of an open mind just means that they listen to what you say about somebody with no other information except what you say, and because of that, you're trying to make people see someone in a certain light without actually giving them the full story. You're intentionally misdirecting people so that people form a dislike or animosity towards someone they've never interacted with.
Open minds are somehow brainwashed. And somehow CNN is brainwashing people through television screens and everything.
I never said CNN was brainwashing people, I just said CNN is not really honest reporting. And Fox, despite not being as bad, still has many times where it is slightly dishonest.
You know, like CNN made up everything that Donald Trump does, which you can't make that stuff up.
I don't see the way everything Trump does. I don't agree with him on everything.
But I mean, comedians have tried and they failed miserably to make up the stuff that get that Gage Kirby too, but Donald Trump says. Matter of fact, Saturday Night Live has done years just quoting just quoting what Donald Trump says.
Yeah, because it's particularly more left-wing. Saturday Night Live used to be funny, but then they started becoming more geared towards making fun of politics and politicians than it was actually concerned about whether or not they could actually make a funny joke without constantly taking a swing at the president every 2 days.
I mean, Donald Trump is probably one of the most foolish but most funniest presidents that America has ever had. You know, I mean, like, you know, this watching Donald Trump stand there and tell Acosta from CNN, I forgot his first name, I'm sorry, but, you know, I think it's Jim, but don't quote me on that. He denies it too. He brings the liberal left, the liberal media, the fake news media, in order to, you know, blame news organizations called Donald Trump out and whatnot. And of course, Donald Trump, all this is all fake news. Of New York is telling Donald Trump everything the Democrats have to say and whatever, know what the people need and everything. But on the other hand, if that's not the case, then it's mostly just hell. Most of what Donald Trump does fails anyway. You know, I mean, look at what happened with ICE. I mean, that's a failure right there. I mean,
shut the fuck up. I hate Donald Trump. You don't have to like him at all. You don't have to like him or agree with him whatsoever. You don't. You just went on like a 10-minute long tangent about Trump that I had to skip through because that had nothing at all to do with. Like, I love how you bring me up to start shit. And near the end, it's like, well, 10-minute long tangent about Trump because I ran out of lies. You don't have to agree with me whatsoever. No one does. If people agree with me, that's on them. That's their choice. I will always maintain that position. However, I'm not going to tolerate some duplicitous, lying, faggoty asshole say that he's the victim of every situation just because he's a pussy that needs to cry about everything. Fuck yourself.